Yo, yo, yo. This is DPS Podcast. That's Damage Per Second Podcast, episode 252. And we are back on a fine Thursday night, feeling all right. Got some interesting topics to get into. We got some stuff to discuss because, people been tripping. People been tripping. Developers been tripping. And it's just been that kind of week. Ain't that right, Gaming Forte?
Yeah, I'm still trying to get caught up on all of it, but yeah, from what it seems, it's like everything's on fire in everybody's minds. And it's like, and it's just a random weekday. It's not even, we ain't even made it to Thanksgiving and Christmas yet, where everybody actually got, a little panic in them because they forgot to buy their significant other and their kids gifts. But it's like, it's kind of crazy out here. But no, man.
Yeah. And my bad. I gotta start being better at this, especially considering let me do some proper intros, because apparently I overheard that I don't do proper intros, and that my co-host in this feels unappreciated, and so let me do a proper intro for my co-host. Introducing from apparently the leader of DPS gaming, from what I've been told, the leader of DPS gaming, a man that is a terror in the Battlefield community, a man that is a reformed Destiny crackhead who has renounced his addiction to it, a man that apparently, I don't know, I couldn't think of nothing else, but no, real fair weather football fan, Gaming Forte. What's up, bro?
Whoa.
How you like that intro?
That's actually a good one. That's a good one. But we this fair weather football fan stuff you keep. My Patriots my Patriots are where they need to be.
Or your Lions. Which one is it?
It's always my Patriots.
You weren't claiming the Patriots last year. You were claiming the Lions last year.
No. I still rock my Patriot flag all the time. When there's just nothing to talk about, I'm just not about to sit here and be like complaining about my team. I'm actually pretty shocked that Drake May is playing as good, because I did not want the Patriots to draft Drake May, but I could be wrong.
Yo, no, look, he's doing very good.
He's doing really well. It might be the fact that we got
You remember you and I had a conversation about it, right? And neither one of us wanted Drake May based off of what we saw from North Carolina. But what we both recognized was the kid had talent.
He had talent.
Serious arm talent. It's just that, like, can he put it together? And we were, and considering what we've seen from prior guys like him with serious arm talent, but a lot of mechanical issues, kind of figured like, I don't know if it's gonna work with him, right?
Mm-hmm.
But he's got some better coaching. He putting it together. The dude out here putting together an MVP kind of season.
That's wild how you can say he got better coaching when, he wasn't drafted by Belichick. He was drafted by Mayo, right? If I remember correctly.
Mayo. Yeah, but Belichick's not the coach now. This is
it's Vrabel now.
Vabro now, right?
I know,
right.
It's just crazy when it's just, you never want to be the coach to follow up the greatest coach of all time, and Mayo was it, and then now we're looking at Vrabel. But it just threw me for a loop for a second. I was like, wait a minute, no, Belichick wasn't the coach, it was Mayo. Because when you just said he got better coaching, I was like, that's a dang shame that Bill Belichick couldn't get this out of. But I forgot Bill Belichick wasn't the coach when he got drafted. But
hey, look, I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. But Bill Belichick,
I don't know what's going on with Bill Belichick.
"Quote unquote" Bill Belichick if he didn't have Tom Brady. But this isn't a football podcast. This is a gaming podcast. So we gonna get into gaming.
As much as I love Tom Brady, I got a fat head up on my wall, man. Pause. Two things can be true. They needed each other to do what they did.
Well, I mean, one of them got a Super Bowl without the other, so that's.
Well, the other one also had the other one actually had probably one of the best rosters in the NFL when he did go to that team.
Hey, look, hey. Success is results are results.
But guess what? Nothing can be taken away from TB12, man. TB12.
Why? Okay, no more football. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to Arcade, Eric in the house, Chopper Eric in the house.
I wouldn't want to talk
look
about
at this. Look at this. We got Sir Taz in the house. Taz, interesting. I haven't seen you on Call of Duty, but you haven't sent a brother invite or nothing. Okay, good to see you, Taz. I go and talk about Call of Duty. We got a lot to talk about when it comes to Call of Duty. But before we get into that, Gaming Forte, what you been playing, man?
The new Anno. Shout out to
what?
It's called a game called Anno. It's a
the strategy game, like Anno, like 1886 or whatever.
It's the Palex, right? It's the Roman one, and it's actually pretty cool. I need to link up with Attic because he plays it too, and I just haven't got a chance to link up with him. But
it's
it's co-op. It's crossplay too, so we got it on Steam, and he had it on console. So I've been playing.
Is that like Anno's like Civilization, right?
Yes.
Because like I played Civilization. I haven't played Anno. I haven't played. I think probably Civilization is like probably the most popular one, but I feel like I haven't played anything else that was like.
Yeah, it's still got a lot of city building and stuff in it. Like it's a little bit more deeper. Like I think games like Civ is more RPG strategy sim, where Anno is more city builder than RPG style, but it does have a lot of Civ qualities and stuff.
But you're really into games like that. So is this a good installment of that IP?
It is actually a really good. I mean, the last one was 2070 that they did, which was the underwater one, which was really really cool. It's like I actually went out and bought City Skylines and all that other stuff and bought all DLC and stuff. So. Attic was kind of shocked when he saw. He was like, "Oh, you actually like this?" Because he gave me he had a code for it, and he was like, "I was just gonna like give it away." And he said, "I didn't know you like games like this." I said, "Heck yeah!" I didn't even know the game was out because I just been so busy at work and stuff. So I jumped in and played a little bit of that. Well, not even a little bit, quite a bit of it over the course of earlier this week. Jumped in and played a little bit of COD. Haven't played a lot. I haven't played Battlefield this week, so I definitely need to get in there when this new map and everything drops out and stuff. So
wow, I actually played it.
I was about to say, I haven't played it yet. I need to get in there. I saw.
I mean, I hadn't played it in a minute, so I had like a ton of updates to do, and I just did one match.
Updates are real.
And then
the updates are real in that game.
We're going to discuss because like I actually have we're going to discuss some of these changes that are happening to both shooters, both Call of Duty, Black Ops 7, and Battlefield 6. So we can get into the weeds on that in a little bit. Anything else you've been playing so far?
No, outside of that, that's it. Oh, I did pick up Kirby Air Riders today. Shout out to kart racing in the air. It's always good. Kirby Air Riders is actually really, really fun.
My daughter wants to play that.
It's actually really, really fun, bro. Like,
is that Switch 2 only game or is it Switch 1?
It's Switch 2 only.
Dang, now I gotta let her use it.
She got clean hands, man. She ain't gonna break it.
No. My daughter is very my daughter, love her to death. She is brilliant. She's a brilliant child. Like she's going to change the world. I'm not saying that because I'm her father. She really is like that level of like intelligence and kindness and all that stuff.
Here comes the
mixed
butt.
up.
Here comes the butt.
But this girl can destroy some electronics. I'm telling you, like, I'm just like, I just can't. I don't like. I just be dumbfounded sometimes with like. So, how did your TV get broken again?
Man,
how did this iPad screen break? So how did you spill water on your laptop? Like, it's so much that I'd be like, she wanted to play Mario Kart World on my Switch 2. And I was just like, while I was working, and I was just like, anxiety times 10. And so, excuse me. So I made sure it's a Switch. She could take it anywhere in the house. I was like,
child-proof that Switch?
Not yet. Thank you for saying that. I gotta buy this case. That it's what's the name of that company? JSOX, I think it's called. JSOX got a real good case for the Switch 2. I meant to buy it. Shout out to John Wolf. John Wolf is the one that told me about it. I put it in the cart, got distracted, have yet to buy it. I need to buy it. I'm gonna buy that thing tonight. Even then, I'm still somewhat concerned. So I basically made her play Mario Kart World right beside me, so to make sure that she didn't break my Switch 2. So that's where she was like, she wanted to play the new Kirby game, and I was like, oh, I don't think I'm looked it up and realized it wasn't out, and I was like, oh, good. It was like a relief that it wasn't out yet. But I thought it was playable on the Switch 1, so I thought, okay, well, I'll just get it to her so she can play it on her Switch Lite, which somehow has still survived her. So,
that means she learning, growing up, man. That's all that means.
Yeah, I don't want her to learn on my Switch 2, bro.
Especially before the new Fire Emblem comes out.
Exactly. So, so for myself, you see on the Jumbotron, this is the Outer Worlds 2. I finished the Outer Worlds 2 a couple days ago. Really good game, really good RPG. Just not a great RPG. And I feel like I said the same thing about Avowed. And shout out to Obsidian, because there aren't many developers that could drop 2 RPGs in the same year, but and they be of quality, very, very high quality RPGs, but Obsidian did it. It's just that neither of them are like the best you can get from Obsidian. And I guess I got kind of a high expectation from that developer, considering the games I played with them in the past. But the thing with Outer Worlds 2 is that I kind of feel like I enjoyed Outer Worlds 1 more. And I fully acknowledge that Outer Worlds 2 has better visuals, way better combat. I would say after, extensively playing it, I would say better guns. And I do like the factions that take place in the world. Like, the factions are very different. They're very complex. Like, these are really these are cultures. Like, these factions are governments, civilizations, you would say, and they are very deep and diverse. I feel like they spent a lot more time in fleshing out the factions as a character, so to speak, than actual characters, if that makes sense.
It does.
And so you like a BioWare game, in Outer Worlds 2, you'll have companions, and all your companions come from each a different faction. There's a whole faction that is all about numbers. They worship math. And so for them, everyone is always using math to predict what they should do next, the future, it's their way of life. And there's a character that's on your team like that. There's a character on your team that's in a cult. There's a character on your team that's from the Protectorate, where they're basically it's like a communist society. It's a lot. They're all very different, but in your companion quest, it really just comes down to they're all they all come from backgrounds that are real flawed, and them when you meet them, they don't realize that they're flawed. Like there's this other girl, Inez, who's a soldier who works for Spacer's Choice. Sorry, Auntie's Choice. It was called Spacer's Choice in the first game. The two companies merged, or well, one took over the other, but whatever. And she has like this really whacked out mentality about corporations and Auntie's Choice in particular, where she's like really loyal to them. And they all do this. And it's not really a spoiler, but it's just like, to me, I felt every companion quest line summed up to, I think the culture I came from is correct. I get information that rocks my worldview, and they either, due to your influence, either choose to double down on the culture they came from, or they kind of shun it and move on. And it's just like, after seeing that with like two different characters, I just kind of saw where it was going for all of them. Even though I did finish the companion quest lines for all of them, I just felt that was too redundant. I look at that compared to, say, like, you see some of that with the companions in the first game, but take Ellie for example. Ellie is this woman who's a pirate, bandit, whatever you want to call it, and she came from like high society, and she just already has shunned high society. So she's already at the point where these characters in Other Worlds 2 are getting to, and she is who she is. Now, there is some character growth with her, but there's more about her dealing with the trauma of her parents and them not really loving her than like anything else. And meanwhile, like she provides like relevant commentary to what's going on, and with stuff that has nothing to do with her. I mean, she provides really good conversation pieces to things. Whereas the Outer Worlds 2 companions, they just, if it doesn't have anything to do with their people, so to speak, there's just really no purpose in bringing them on some of the missions that you're in, unless you just, team composition, you just really want them in your party, so to speak. So I didn't mean to really go this deep into the companions.
Yes, you did.
The story's good. No, I did. I really didn't mean to go that far, but like the story's good. The companions aren't as good as Outer Worlds 2. Outer Worlds 1. The characters aren't as good. I really liked the Agent DeVries. I really liked her. I felt like they kind of missed it with the execution, with the way they implemented the character. I wanted to see more of her, and I did not. And so, but all that said, I beat the game. It was really good. I recommend, if you like good Western RPGs, I recommend you check it out. It's a good one. So there's that, and I've been playing Black Ops 7. There's really just only two things I've really been doing outside of messing around with Cyberpunk on the Switch. And
there it is. On the Switch. Congratulations.
And and playing some Unicorn Overlord on Xbox.
You playing on that? I was gonna say you should play that on. You should play that on Switch.
I do own it on Switch, but I didn't kind of want to start over yet because I was pretty far in the Xbox version. So I'm gonna finish it on the Xbox, and I'll play it on Switch probably at a later time.
The Switch version will change your life.
I don't think it would do that. It's the same version as the Xbox version.
No, it is. But I'm just saying. But just, you don't realize the power of portability and how much more you will play that game.
I don't realize. I have a Steam Deck OLED. I have a Switch 2. I had the original Switch. I got
two last time you turned on
Switch lights hanging around. I turned it on this week.
What
did I play on that?
This week was earlier.
Something on it.
This week was
I played Dispatch.
You got that on Switch? You got that on your Steam Deck?
Yeah, because I have it on.
You have it on
I bought it on Steam. So yeah, like it runs great because it's an easy running game, so it's it's no problem. But so no, I've been playing Black Ops, and I got some things to talk about when it comes to. It's not necessarily gripes.
Yes. When a person says not necessarily, that means I'm not all the way there, but you could kind of force me. You could kind of push me over the ledge if you say the right thing.
So this is so. It's about, my issue is about execution with Black Ops 7 right now. So I understand the changes, why they made the changes that they made. I just don't think they made those changes correctly.
Please say more.
There's some issues with skill-based matchmaking that's just weird. That I've seen people talk about, people who have done testing solo with groups, and they're looking at, like, when you say there's like skill-based matchmaking, like, what do you mean by that? Because like there's some people who were like, oh, they thought it was no skill-based matchmaking, which is not accurate.
There. It's definitely there.
It is in there. So there is skill-based matchmaking.
And they're like swimwear.
It's light skill-based matchmaking. It's not as strict as it was in previous Call of Duty games, or at least it's not supposed to be. Because what I'm seeing is, like, of course, it's not like you weren't going to have sweaty lobbies. Of course, I have sweaty lobbies. The wild thing is that it's just like, where is the variance? Because it doesn't seem like like when you have light skill-based matchmaking, then I should be in some lobbies where, you know, it's a mix. It's people that like are on my level, people who are above my level, people who are below my level. No, I'm definitely getting plenty challenged. It is just, there is a weirdness to how it's playing out, and people are saying that, like, they are, when they play solo, that they're fine. It's actually pretty decent, and then they party up with one or two people, and it's like chaos.
Wild West. The Wild West.
And it's like I think there's some things they need to work out with that. I've seen some of the conversation of people complaining about aim assist, the rotational aim assist with aiming, and you know, we discussed it last week. I haven't had a real issue with that at all. Other people have noted there is a significant difference, and it's been tested, somewhat confirmed, that like from Black Ops 6 to Black Ops 7, if you are not engaging with the right thumbstick to aim at a particular person that you're aiming at, you're getting like 50% less aim assist than you were getting with Black Ops 6.
You talk about,
that's been confirmed.
Say it again now. If they're not what?
If they are not moving their right thumbstick in the direction of the person they're shooting at, or accurately pushing it in that direction, you're getting 50% less less aim assist.
Shouldn't you always aim at the person? Shouldn't your thumbstick always be moving?
Yeah. I look, I don't know about everyone, so like I can't speak for everyone, but I am. So like that's what I'll say. But I think what it really
that just
kind of
sounds really weird just to hear you say, not you, but just that. To hear that the fact that you get more aim assist if you're moving your thumbstick closer to the target. I always thought aim assist worked that way anyways. Like, no, I take that back. I take that back. Sticky aim assist, really sticky aim assist, a person can just run across your reticle and the reticle will follow them. That's when I feel like
to a degree.
Yeah, to a degree. That the stronger it is, the more the magnetic pull on a person's head, you will literally you put your controller on the table, somebody run past your crosshead like head level, and you will literally watch your character move in that direction very slightly. The more they move, the stronger that aim assist is. It's weird as heck to hear that you get more if you're moving it towards the person, because I feel like you should always be moving your, like, granted, they always teach you have your reticle level. Like you should be running around the map at head level with your reticle. It should always be there.
Right.
And then you adjust your reticle.
Always put your crosshairs where you believe the enemy will be.
Where the enemy's head will be.
Yeah.
And then you adjust it based on where they are. If they're like at a higher point, or if they're sliding around a corner, then you just got to snap down. So okay, go. I don't want to mess, because I just derailed you. I'm sorry, but go ahead and finish what you were saying.
So and I don't want to get too deep into this, because this is an actual topic that we're going to get into later on. But like, essentially, like it is, there are some irregular things that are going on that they did not intend. I think they pretty much, they did a dev talk recently that kind of like spoke on it. And so there are some things that are happening that are not how they intended, especially when it comes to different ranges, like short range, medium range, long range. The aim assist isn't consistent in all those various ranges, and that's what they're trying to, it seems like that they're talking about, they're trying to address. So I've just noticed some things over from last week to this week, and I feel like they may have changed some things over the past week, because like when the first couple of days, I was like, yo, I'm cool with it. I've already adjusted. I'm good to go. I'm good. And I actually feel like I am enjoying the weapons more in this one, but enjoying the maps less. Like the maps, I think there may be like 3 maps I'm cool with. Everything else can kick rocks with flip-flops. I do not like their other maps, but I know there's some I feel like some changes, and they did an update recently. I don't know what was really in the update 100%, but when I played a lot today on COD, and I had a good time. I had a good time today. Nice. Yesterday it was like, what is happening? Like it was the sweatiest of sweat fest, and they absolutely, that whole, we got 99% of the cheaters out of here. Well, I must have ran into all the 1% of cheaters yesterday, because there was just nothing but cheaters left and right. Today was pretty cool. Not too many cheaters today. So like maybe that was somewhat of the difference between my frustration yesterday compared to today. But we'll get more into that later on, because I don't want to get too far into it. I know you've been playing the campaign. I haven't touched the campaign, and based on what I've seen, I'm probably not going to touch the campaign ever.
That campaign, dog. Shout out to Dark. He made that video talking about that single player and how he actually liked it, and I'm never going to take away from that man saying he liked that single player. But then, like, he was talking about, like, he talked about how the premise of it, like, with the, like, basically why you feel like, why you're fighting the things you're fighting, because of, the situation that happened in the game. And I get that, but it's like, I just, at a certain point, Call of Duty just jumping the shark completely at this point. It's like, it was crazy. But I
heard there's an Elden Ring boss fight in the game.
There is.
The way people are describing it. And I'm like, what is happening, yo?
No, there is an Elden Ring boss fight in this game. And I'm like, bro, I don't care what kind of meth you on. But shout out to him for telling people. And I agree. I think at a certain point, there's a lot of hate for the campaign, because of the direction they kind of went in with it. And I don't think it's fully warranted, but I also think a lot of people it's just not what people want in a Call of Duty game. People like the bombastic, over the top, lens flares, Michael Bay experience everywhere, and this campaign is just not it.
So to recap, people just want the gruff, bearded special forces ops guys, just basically, with the deep voice, and I'm full of death and misery, and I'm here to save America. I'm just going to shoot and destroy all their enemies that all look Russian and Iranian, and they want that guy. They want that, like you said, lens flare, explosions, jumping off of buildings that are about to explode. That kind of, experience. Do you want a Transformer movie where it's mostly about the humans and not the Transformers? Because they ain't go too well when they did that. Right. That's what it was. Well, that's how I was looking. It's like, do you want an alien movie to be about the humans, or you want it to be about the xenomorph and the predators running around doing things? That's the last time that they went into the future in the Call of Duty universe with Advanced Warfare, people liked the campaign. People enjoyed the campaign. They didn't really care for the multiplayer, but they enjoyed the campaign. So
Jon Snow.
What was the difference with this one? Is that like you're fighting like, I don't know, like a giant kaiju while you're on meth or something? Like what is happening?
It's like they created a scenario where you can still be in this giant fight with this giant this AT-AT, and everybody can see what you can see because you're all chipped together. It's like, I get the premise of it, but I also like, okay, they do it too much, and it's the same thing that
can I say this real quick too as well? So if you I heard that if you have AI so it's multiplayer, it's co-op in it, but like if you don't have, like, it's designed around co-op, but if you don't have anyone to play with, they don't give you AI companions to make up for that. That's a mistake, because if you're going to do that kind of experience, that reminds me of like Tom Clancy Ghost Recon, for example.
Yeah, I hear you.
Wildlands in particular, which I really enjoyed. Wildlands puts you into some, completely fictional Central American country where you're supposed to decentralize the government and do whatever the heck we typically do with our when we do those kind of things. And you're sure it's got the whole Ubisoft formula with the huge open world environment and taking down each zone as you go through it, you progress through it. But if you weren't playing with other people, it was designed to play with other people,
right? And
it's designed well to play with your teammates and with friends. But if you didn't have that, you had this squad of like 3 or 4 other guys with personalities that ran with you, and they were really good in a fight. Like, you could just be driving a Jeep, run into a firefight, and these guys gonna cap some fools. They're not gonna just be shooting around the enemy so that the player actually gets the kills. They actually are like, and you can direct them and do things.
You know what this reminds me of?
I'm gonna land the plane.
No, land the plane. Plane's good.
No, what I'm saying is that, like, if you're gonna go that far with that kind of experience, like really do that, like really put in the work to make it feel authentic and make it feel good. So like the experience isn't any different when I'm solo than when I'm playing with other people. When I'm gonna say any different, it shouldn't be more difficult just because I don't have anyone else to play with in this campaign. It should be a very, very similar experience. I should be using the same kind of tactics, whether I have other people to play with or I don't. And I just kind of feel like that's the problem. But
no,
my bad. You were saying
no,
something.
no. I agree.
Or are you done?
No, I agree. I was just gonna say everything you just said reminds me of a movie called Universal Soldiers. Which I actually like. That movie was actually pretty good. The first
Universal Soldier, was that Jean-Claude Van Damme?
Jean-Claude Van Damme and what's his name? What's it? How you figure it starts with a D?
Dolph Lundgren.
Dolph Lundgren.
Yeah. Well, look, man. Even though I said we were getting into more later on, we did go kind of deep into Call of Duty. We'll finish up with some of the other changes as well as Battlefield 6 changes, because there's some changes to Battlefield 6 as well. In a little bit, we do have some rapid fire topics to get into. Forte, are you ready?
I am here, willing and able.
Oh, really?
Oh, really?
Well.
Let's
talk about the Steam machine.
Well,
because I feel like some people have jumped out the window when it comes to this device.
I feel like out the window when they hear this price gonna happen.
Yeah. That's part of it, because I feel like I don't understand the mentality of, I had an idea of what this is. The company that's making it has a different idea of what this is. And I doubled down on what my idea. It's just like, why are you doubling down on things they already told you it's not? So I say all that because in regards to the Steam machine, Valve is really kind of slowly killing a lot of these narratives that have been created about the product and how they're going to price the product, how they plan on selling the product. There's a lot of people saying like, oh, well, they're going to start selling them everywhere. According to who? When did that happen? Where did you get this idea from? Oh, well, it's gonna be priced like $400 or $500 in the year of 2025, where no one who's making hardware is subsidizing the hardware. Why would you think Valve is doing that? And so, over the past week, since we discussed this last week, Valve has come out and stated that the Steam machine will be sold the same way the Steam Deck was. And how was the Steam Deck sold? It was essentially just sold on the Steam store. If you wanted to get a Steam Deck, you would go to the Steam store, you would put in the search Steam Deck, you would get the options of what's available for a Steam Deck, you would buy one, and then they will ship it to you. That is how you buy a Steam Deck. It will be the same for the Steam machine. It will be the same thing. You're not going to go into a Best Buy and get a Steam machine. You are not going to go into Forte's GameStop and get a Steam machine at launch. Maybe they'll do what they did with the Steam Deck, where refurbished ones will show up in Forte's GameStop, but not at launch. So why people thought this would be different, who the heck knows? Additionally, Linus, who was the first one, Linus from Linus Tech Tips, who was the first one to speak on what Valve has said about the pricing of this device. Since then, other tech tubers like Gamer Nexus has spoken this as well, got the same feedback from Valve that they are pricing this competitively with PCs rather than, which means unlike, which means not like consoles. And so Linus has provided further context to his conversation with Valve on the Steam price, the Steam machine price. And he said that when they asked him, what did he mean by console price? And he said, well, $500. And his response is that they did not respond. And the energy about after that was not great, which means if you can use your brain, let's use this gray matter in your head, it ain't gonna be $500. It probably won't be close to $500, which is exactly what I have been saying, that it will be $800. Because if you're gonna price it competitively with PCs right now, with the way RAM prices are, with the way just anything, if you build a PC, like if you buy a pre-built with these specs, you're literally paying anywhere between $900 to $1,000. I don't think Valve is going to subsidize this price because that ain't the kind of company that they are. Now, I do think it'll be $800 simply for the fact that they'll likely have contracts with companies that will supply those parts. And those contracts, when you get in bulk, you're going to get it cheaper than you and I, me or Forte or people in the audience listening will be able to spend for the same part. So therefore, it'll be slightly cheaper, but not like half the cost cheaper. Y'all have lost your mind to believe it will be anywhere near that. Anything below $700 is a console price. So just like, come back to reality, y'all, please. Forte, what are your thoughts on this, man?
Well, if you listen to IOP this past Sunday, this very subject came up, and I was told that, this is going to compete with consoles in a console price round. And I was like, who told you that? I was like, last time I said, first of all, they ain't gonna put this thing in stores. This thing gonna be, this before, I said, they gonna sell this thing just like they sold the Steam Deck, just like they sold the Steam Index. It's gonna sell the same way. They're gonna make it to order. And when you make something to order, SloMo, what usually happens when you make something to order? It usually has a higher price tag on it, doesn't it?
Yep.
Because you're not mass manufacturing it like that. You're gonna have
like that new Xbox PC that's coming out in a few years. That's gonna be the same way.
You gonna want one.
It will be available in more places. Well, I think it'll be available in more places, but it ain't gonna be mass because the cost of it is going to be so much higher than what people expect from an Xbox. I mean, right? Even if they make it themselves, they may have Asus make it. They may have Lenovo make it or something. But it's just like people got to just get their head around what the new reality is, and these things are more expensive, man. It's like they sit competitively with PCs, and it seems like some of y'all have never bought or built a PC, obviously, which is fine, but this is a PC, bro. Even though it's a compromised PC, it's still a PC.
Wait! I thought PC gaming, we don't compromise in PC gaming. I guess.
Oh, you compromise it with this device.
This is where PC gamers start compromising.
Yo, look, man. 8 gigabyte VRAM GPU.
Let me ask you this though: are you really a PC gamer if you buy this though, and you don't have a traditional PC?
Oh, well, if you don't have, no. I would say no.
So if you're a console gamer,
this is the only PC device that you have is this thing that you're buying. Then you're not a PC gamer. You are a console gamer trying out a PC. A PC like device, right? Which is look, and this is why I think there are a number of people who want this thing because they want to play like games that they can't get on their console, that are only on Steam. You know, like there's always this narrative, oh, well, PC don't have exclusives. And then when you tell them, what you just say? And they're like, well, exclusives that we want. I'm like, all right, so basically you're lying. They do have exclusives. They're just not games that you care about or you even know about because you're just a console gamer, which is not a negative that you're a console gamer. Maybe just don't talk about PC things that you don't understand because it is out of your depth, you know, that you don't know. Your purview, that you don't know. There is probably more, not even probably, there's definitely more exclusive games that are just on PC and Steam than there are in all the exclusives that you may get on the various different console platforms. But if you're like, oh, those games no one cares about, when I say no one, I say no one in quotation marks because they're just games that you don't care about, then well, so what? But exclusives are exclusives. So
yep. That is true.
But I think the reality is that these people do want to play those games. They do want to engage in the platform. That's that they do want to play Hades 2 an entire year and a half early before it comes out on the consoles when it's in early access. And they'd be able to do that because Hades 2 runs fairly well. It's not a demanding game, and that Steam machine can run that perfectly. And I think they do want to kind of engage in those kind of games that they can't quite get on console at the time, but they want to do it at a price that is a console price. Mm-hmm. And I get that too, because honestly, if you think about it, there's going to be a lot of games that's going to run better on a console, on the PS5 or Xbox Series X, than on the Steam machine. Because the Steam machine's playing it, the PC version of the game, if the developer doesn't get a dev kit and make a Steam machine version. Right. Your version of the game is going to be GIMP because your hardware is GIMP, versus the console actually had a optimized for that specific spec version made for it. So even though the hardware may not be as advanced as the Steam machine hardware, the version that's being played is far more optimized than the PC version. Therefore, it plays better than the PC version. So there are going to be some games like that where we will see that will be the reality, but with the Steam machine versus some of these consoles. But having access to games is having access to games. If you don't have those games, if you are an Xbox gamer who wants to play PlayStation games, and for some reason you refuse to buy a PlayStation and you want to get a Steam machine to do that, look, I'm sorry, all the PlayStation games run really heavy on PC. They're not greatly optimized on PC.
True.
So when you play those games on the Steam machine, it's not going to be pretty. Playing either of the Last of Us games on PC on that Steam machine is going to be rough.
I don't know what that's like. I literally Last of Us on my PC 4K 120.
Right. Now, real quick, shout out to official Clizzle becoming a 10%. I appreciate you. Hit it. By the way, I never say this. I need to say this more. Hit the like button if you haven't already. Hit the subscribe button.
The like button.
Be a part of the DPS community. Be a part of that damage per second. Putting damage on people per second. That's what that means. It's kind of obvious. But anyway, appreciate you, Clizzle. You a real one out there. Forte, is there anything else you want to say about this before we move on?
Nope.
I think at this point, I feel like we might get the price at the Video Game Awards, maybe.
Oh, okay, yeah, I do. Okay, so your price is what, 800? You said?
Yeah, 800. The lowest I will go is 750.
What's the highest you'll go?
9. I know there's some people thinking $1,000. The only way I think it'll be $1,000 is because the RAM prices are so ridiculous right now that that will drive it up to $1,000. But if they can get a contract for RAM that can not be influenced or changed by the current environment of the market, then I think, you know, the price range I had will be what it is.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think 800, but I have every bit of believing that this thing could be $1,000 just because of that part. Like, you know, like you said, just certain components are, you know, things that you need are like expensive now. I remember when we went for like a couple years where RAM was like super cheap. Now it's like super expensive again. So that's how
it
I
fluctuates.
feel. Yeah,
and here's the part of it: like a 16 gigs of RAM is the bare minimum amount of RAM that you should have in a modern PC right now. Although I would say you really kind of want 32, because 16 is basically kind of pushing it as far as barely being enough, but it's upgradable. So you can actually, if the prices come down, you can, and you've already bought a Steam machine, you can go buy yourself some more RAM and actually open the thing up and install the RAM yourself. Now, you know, for those console gamers, that might sound like I just told you to do brain surgery, but it's really not that complicated. And if you really want that upgrade, then you'll be able to knock it out.
You just told them to stop being scared and go talk to that girl that's leaning up against the locker that you've been looking at for the last 20 minutes.
Well, I mean, basically, the storage can be upgraded as well. You know, there's two versions: the 512 gigabyte version and the 2 terabyte version. If you got the 2 terabyte version, you don't need to upgrade.
They know how to do it. They just plug in their hard drive that they already were using before.
Stop it. All right, man.
They ain't opening up no system to change nothing slow. They gonna call you like SloMo. Here, if I FaceTime you, can you walk me through this?
Man.
Can you? I'm telling you, just be ready for it. SloMo, can you jump in Discord if I share my screen so you can show me where this screw go?
Oh man, does this person's name rhyme with a Enrique? Enrique. Yeah.
I need your expertise, SloMo. Did he start calling you by your real name, and then you know it's real?
Right. So let's move on to the actually we only had 2 rapid fires today, so let's actually three.
Oh really?
Yeah. I forgot to do the really. My bad. Really? So Battlefield 6 also has had some changes going on recently, and with Battlefield 6, it's pretty funny, I would say, because in between the open beta and the game launching, they nerfed some things. They nerfed movement, then they nerfed controller aim assist, which, you know, mouse and keyboard bums who complain about aim assist all day rejoiced. Controller players were angry. And now it seems like some things have been rolled back. So EA and DICE have reinstated the controller aim assist that they had it set up in Battlefield 6 during the open beta. And I'm sure the same mouse and keyboard players that were going, ha, we got your aim assist nerf. Now I can actually, you know, kill someone kind of talk. All those people are probably crying right now, but that has now been reinstated. I look, forgive me for this gameplay. I literally updated the game. And then I played one match so I could have something to put on the Jumbotron. I am sorry, okay? This match is not the best match, but it's there. And I would say I could see the difference. I can see the difference between what was there when I played Battlefield 6 last week to when I played today. I can feel the difference. Feels better.
Mm-hmm.
And so, Forte, you haven't had the opportunity to play it yet, but what are your thoughts on them reinstating the aim assist they had in the open beta?
You ever listen to Twister? You know how he starts that song where it says, "Let me play with your emotions." That's what I feel like is happening with this game right now.
Okay, I didn't know where you was going with that because I didn't know what song you was talking about. And when you said play, I was like, I'm about to hit the mute button. But go ahead.
No, I think that's what's going on. They are literally playing with people's emotions with this game right now. Like, first you change this, then you change that, then you revert it and go back. I don't know what I mean. They haven't really came out with any new updated numbers or anything like that. I think that's probably not going to happen probably until after like Thanksgiving, when a lot of people go out.
No. Well, they don't need to come up with any because Circona,
Circona got some numbers. Okay.
Circona got some numbers. Circona, and well, this is just the United States because that's all the Circona reports on. Mm-hmm. But Battlefield 6, the numbers came out today, and Battlefield 6 was the most sold game in October.
Oh,
additionally,
okay,
it's also in just 1 month the most sold game of the year.
Oh, it's a wrap, bro. in 1 month, it beat every game that's been out since January.
Yeah.
Okay, that's normally that's Call of Duty
impressive
territory.
That is Call of Duty territory. Although Call of Duty, don't get too excited. Call of Duty may be out now, but Call of Duty's reporting on sales doesn't. Yeah, it'll be next month. It'll be next month when it comes out.
Yeah. So
Circona always reports in the middle of the next month on the previous month. So it will be somewhere in the middle of December when we find out how well Call of Duty did. But
yeah.
Either way, awesome for Battlefield.
So, awesome. No, I think it's great. But, the biggest thing for me is it doesn't matter because until I saw the article where they changed everything, I would have never knew because it's not. The funny thing is, even when Destiny, I played that, I really looked at their TWAB, their, This Week in Destiny or TWIB, This Week in Bungie, depending on what day of the week it is.
The what?
They called it the TWAB and the TWID.
Okay, go ahead.
The TWAB was This Week, TWIB was This Week in Bungie. But then when they had all of that stupid stuff that started happening with the with all of the CMs and stuff with the with the CMs with the company, they changed it from TWID to TWAB or TWAB to TWID, which is This Week in Destiny. So now it's the TWID. TWID. Whoa, shut up. But I never
think the names are crazy.
But just to say this, I barely paid attention to those things. Like the only time, like shout out to Taz if he's still in the chat, he would like tell me like, bro, he said, man, I'm about to go crazy this game, man. They just buffed Titans and gave us a more running start. And this grenade, they finally fixed this exotic. And I was like, oh, really? Dang, I didn't even know that. And I just keep on playing. And I just really never pay attention to that stuff. So now, granted, I'm not going to say I wouldn't notice it when I'm in the game because it's kind of hard, especially if it's like a very drastic change in gameplay. They did that with Battlefield 2042 when they started nerfing optical zoom or your or what did they call it? Your run to reset. So whenever when you're running and then you're ready up, so it was run to ready up. So you used to be able to like run around the map. And then it was like almost instantaneous when you would be ready to shoot. But then they added like a slight delay whenever you're sprinting. You don't have to come to a full stop, but there's like animation clips in there where it makes it so when you stop or take your hand off of the sprint button, you have to like gather. That's probably a better word. Gather, and then you aim and shoot. So there's like a couple of milliseconds in there that does it. And that threw
delay.
me
Okay.
and that threw me off like hell for like a good couple of games.
I can imagine, yeah, because like
Oh,
you really have to kind of like change up how you get into an engagement, because you're not going to be able to ADS. So you basically put a delay on ADS essentially.
Yeah, like a couple like, and it was, like I said, it wasn't a lot. It only probably like 2 or 3 milliseconds. But when your brain is telling you this is how it usually is, and it doesn't, and then you start questioning and you start dying because some people pick up on it faster than others. Then you just start like, what the heck happened here? But then you go look at the things like, oh, they added a modifier to ADS and all this other stuff. And, it was the same thing with reloading. Anything that has something to do with an animation out of sprint, they added a delay to it because people were like, they wanted to, because basically what it is they wanted to slow the game down. And that definitely slows the game down, even though you're talking about milliseconds. But once I got used to it, it was just Battlefield. It's like you just had to get to the point where your TTK from engagement of seeing somebody might have went for something that, it might have been like 14 milliseconds from point of seeing them to the point that they pulled the trigger and they're dead. But then they moved it to like 0.21. And then there's a lot of stuff. And you play shooter, SloMo. There's a lot of things that can happen in 5 milliseconds in shooter. A lot of things can happen. So that's the variance I'm so used to when it comes to this. So when I saw this, I was like, yeah, this definitely is problematic for some people, especially for people that are on keyboard and mouse, because they've been running kind of free. And I feel like as a person that doesn't play on keyboard and mouse, it's not going to affect me. It's just going to make my gameplay a little bit better because I have a little bit more aim assist than I had before versus the people, that never had it. And then they got used to just being able to just have their way in lobbies sometimes. But it's cool. I mean, you said you played it recently. So what did you think of the little changes they made to it?
Yeah, I already said, like I showed the gameplay. I thought it felt like it did in the open beta, which is, I mean, it's literally the changes they have, the way they had it originally. They just reverted it back, and it felt better. It felt better. I adjusted to the changes they had made when the game launched, and I was cool with it. After a few matches, I was good.
Though? Why do you think they did
it? They did it because they were listening to these these whining mouse and keyboard bums who can't beat nobody, even though they got the quote unquote superior aiming setup with mouse and keyboard, yet they're still whining about aim assist. And then they listen to them only to see the data after the fact and see that they were mouse and keyboard players were likely dominating the controller players now.
I
agree. That's all the mouse and keyboard players wanted. They wanted essentially a leg up. And they gave it to them and realized that was a mistake. And I'm glad they reverted their mistake now versus losing an entire platforms because people don't want to play the game no more because it's an imbalance. And then realize that after a ton of players have quit your game, that we didn't messed up. Right. We gotta do better. And so
I agree.
When you the finals, I think made that mistake. The finals was doing big numbers. And then all the whining mouse and keyboard players started crying about aim assist being too strong. And then they nerfed that. And then the Xbox and PlayStation players largely left. Now it's a mostly PC, and the mouse and keyboard players are happy, but Embark wasn't happy with the fact that they lost all those people. And when they try to revert that back, it's too late if you wait too long and people just they quit on your game. And so EA not waiting too long to undo the mistakes they made is is smart on their part, because the game's only been out like a month. Like, you don't want to wait too long before you start losing people. Additionally, Black Ops 7 had Activision had a dev talk on the state of the game with multiplayer and some changes that they're making. So if you played the multiplayer in Black Ops 7, then you already kind of know, like, the SMGs are not great right now. Like, essentially, the SMGs are fine in small, like, close encounters. And which is, I mean, yes, SMG. It's not supposed to have the kind of damage range of an assault rifle, but the fall off in the damage range and the accuracy is ridiculous. And so they're
10 meters
buffing.
Is all you got.
Yeah, so they're buffing the SMGs. They're also nerfing the shotguns. Thank God. And by the way, if you're a shotgun loser, I'm sorry. No, I said that right. If you're a shotgun loser, you deserve whatever comes to you. I hope you get diarrhea in traffic going to work tomorrow. It is what it is. Anyway, shotguns are getting nerfed, and even though this is probably going to piss some people off, they are happy with where things are with aim assist right now in Black Ops 7. They're happy with it. Mm-hmm. Now, they do think they need to make some minor changes to what I mentioned earlier about, like, the ranges for controller aim assist, the degree of how much aim assist is being used when it comes to the various ranges of where you're shooting at enemies at, whether it's close, medium range, or long. They're going to be messing around with that, and I suspect they may have unintentionally broke a few things. Mm-hmm. With aim assist, which comes to, I think, some of the inconsistencies that some people are seeing. But overall, they say they're happy with it, and if you are not happy with it, you got pretty much two choices. It's not going away. You're either going to need to adjust or find a new game to play. It is what it is. And then the last thing is the spawns. The spawns are awful. These might be some of the worst spawns I've seen in the Call of Duty game, and that's saying something, because their spawns are typically not that great. But, like, the amount of times I kill somebody, and then I get shot in the back, and I'm like, I look at who killed me. It's the dude I just killed. I literally just killed you. How do you spawn this guy behind me? It's crazy. The spawns are all over the place. Like, typically, you have a map. If I die, I know what my spawn side is. So I spawn on that side. Somewhere on that side I spawn. If the other team dies, unless we flip spawns, I know where they're going to be. Sometimes spawn, it's just like you're in the middle of the map, just spawn. It's just like, whoa, why? How? Why? How did I get here? It's wild. The spawns have to get fixed. They said they're going to do some tuning to it. It's really necessary that they do. But any thoughts that you have on the changes that they're making to the multiplayer?
The biggest thing for me is the spawns. Definitely, I feel like need to be adjusted. I mean, the only time I feel like it really needs to be adjusted is when you are allowing, when people just click the A button or click the C button or for whatever the button is to go in blindly, and it just puts you in a random spot of the map, versus if you're joining on people. See, like, I don't know, like, for me, I'm always joining people. I don't just go into the, like, unless I'm playing solo. Now, solo's a completely different thing. I think those spawns are kind of horrific. Like, you'll literally spawn in front of 3 people, and then those 3 people are
spawn into a hail of bullets.
Right. And then all of a sudden you just catch strays and stuff. So that is definitely a thing. But in general, as long as they're doing, the one thing I like is the fact that we have a game that's pretty much I'm not going to say completely bug free, but a drastic difference from what we used to have. and they can just focus on a lot of those things. That's why when I see you talked about them, going back and updating some of the going back and updating the aim assist and stuff in the game. They didn't even have time to do stuff like this, like with 2042 or Battlefield 4, Battlefield 1, Battlefield 5. And by the time they would do that stuff, it would be like,
you talking about Battlefield?
Oh, you talking about Call of Duty? Oh, you were talking about Call of Duty.
Yeah, the stuff with the SMGs and the shotgun. That was all.
I thought
that was all Black Ops, man.
Oh, that's what you're talking. Okay, well, if you're talking about the SMG, we'll go back to that then. I love the SMG in Call of Duty, but it
Which
only
one? There's only one that I like right now.
What is the?
And that's the Drevik 45, I think it's called.
It might
that's
be
the only one that I like right now. This is the only one that seems to have decent. It's it's got the slowest time to kill. It's got the slowest time to kill, which also it doesn't have as much recoil as the other SMGs, and it's got decent damage range. That's the only one I'm really kind of using. I'm not trying to use.
Yeah, but that 10 to 15 meters is disgusting. It's like, I need this to go a little bit further. Can you at least give me 20 meters? Because you're engaged. Because I feel like with that, you're still losing gunfights to people with assault rifles to an extent, especially if they're
the assault rifle is the meta right now. You're gonna lose for the most part. You'll lose a lot to the people with assault rifle, especially if they're using what is that thing called? The mid 15.
I haven't.
The M. Sorry, I said the mid. The M. I think it's called the M15 Mod 0. I think it's called. That gun is essential. It's the best gun in the game right now. It's extremely overtuned. They need to. I wouldn't say nerf it, but they need to get some other assault rifles
they need
up
to
to
do
that
something
level.
to it. That is nerf. Nerf is.
Well, I mean, I don't know if they need to do anything to it, but they need to make other weapons more just as viable or more viable in certain areas.
That's still nerfing. You're bringing other weapons up to its level when you're not touching that weapon. So basically, you're just inverting it, saying, "Guess what? We're not going to touch you because we think you're perfect, but we're going to fix everything else around you."
Well, I mean, when you don't want everyone using the same weapon.
That dude, what just happened there, SloMo?
What you talking about?
That dude on the stairs, bro. You slid y'all were playing around the obstacle, and he got on the stairs and got you.
I wasn't paying attention. Look, man,
I just saw you
chaotic.
slide. Well, yeah, that's what that gunfight looked like. It looked super chaotic.
Look, the thing is that you don't want everyone just using one weapon. You don't want it to be a team deathmatch and everyone's got an M15 Mod 0. That's a problem. Because no one's using anything else. I do think the AK-27. I actually really like these guns compared to the Black Ops 6 guns. I love these guns way more than those guns, but I feel like there's some tweaking that needs to get done. The AK-27, I think is good. I like it. I think I would say there's a gun called the X9 Maverick. I think that might be my favorite gun right now. It's X9 something. It might be called the X9 Maverick. I'm trying to get my head around all the weapons, but that one, I'm rocking with that one pretty good right now. I like the weapons. They just need to do some changes. That having one good SMG is not what you want.
You're right.
You don't want that, So there's some things need to be adjusted. But you good with this one? Are you ready to move on?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right.
Oh really?
And before we get out of the rapid fires, real quick, we had the Golden Joystick Awards today. I I did not watch it, but I did hear from some people that like, you know, I really wish that like the production values of some of these other award shows that seem to have a little bit more integrity than the one that we're going to talk about later were better, because there were people saying that like the microphones weren't good, or like the production just wasn't there. It was just like the crowd was too loud, and people, it was hard to hear. But essentially, Expedition 33 got the Ultimate Game of the Year award, as well as Best Narrative, and I think Best Music as well, and various other awards. So congratulations to Sandfall Interactive. I think that's well deserved, and something that is kind of, they kind of do with the Golden Joysticks is that you see the percentages of how a game will win the award, and it really, for some of them, weren't close. So congratulations to them. Forte, what are your thoughts on that? What are your thoughts on Expedition 33 and the Golden Joysticks?
I didn't watch it. I didn't even know it was happening today until I saw the rundown, and I went back and looked. But the biggest thing is, Expedition, you already know how I feel, Game of the Year all way. But I cannot stress how disheartening it is to kind of watch other game shows, because I feel like the overall thought that is put into the nominations and the love that these games get from other entities is greater, but the production quality just doesn't match the output. So it doesn't make it a very watchable event. And the biggest thing about these shows is about the watchability. Like, the first thing they'll tell you,
it's a catch-22, right? Because like, if just real quick, if it had better production value, more people would watch it.
Yep.
But they don't have the production value because more people don't watch it. So it's like, do you force yourself to watch a kind of like, not necessarily teeth pulling, but like a not so good experience with the hope that it leads to it getting better? Like, I don't know, man.
But I'll say this though. The number one thing they teach you on YouTube, SloMo, and like if you look at any YouTube coach about making YouTube videos, the first thing they tell you is the number one thing you should have is good audio. People will watch a bad, grainy video with amazing audio before they watch a great looking video with crappy audio. Because
very true. I know that for a fact.
And listen, that is why the first thing you should go out and do is buy shout out to Mama Luca.
Good mic.
If you wanted to get on Scumcast, you had to have at least a good, decent mic. You couldn't just be coming into Scumcast like anything. So I just think that is kind of the downfall for a lot of these experiences and a lot of these shows and stuff, because I feel like once you get the audio side of it, really taking care of it, it's not just with mics and stuff, but actual, like when people are like watching the gameplays and you're hearing videos of people like that couldn't be at their awards, accepting the awards and everything. And we're not really holding studios.
And that's why I was saying, that's the feedback I was seeing, is that it was like people are accepting awards and it's difficult to hear
them right.
Hear them speak. I think Jennifer English, who plays Mael in Expedition 33, I think she's the one that may have won Performer of the Year. But it was just like people were speaking in regards to not being able to hear the presenters, not being able to hear people accept awards. And that's unfortunate. I may check it out, tomorrow while I'm working. Yeah. Anyway, I may too,
because because the thing is, if you, like you said, it is a catch-22. If you want things like this to be better, you have to support them. But I'm sorry, we're not supporting garbage. That's That just isn't happening. I might love the only time I'm gonna subject myself to watching something that's lesser than something else is if I'm doing it for somebody. Like I will, if my brother is doing a video game show and he needs me to support and tell my friends like, bro, I need you to log into this, even if you don't watch it, just stay logged into it. We'll do something like that because it's for people that we're supporting and we know we have a minimal impact to it because we're helping out somebody. But when you're just talking about the masses and stuff, like they're just gonna, path of least resistance that they can do the littlest that they have to do, which is just listen. And then when that is kind of constructed, it's like, yeah, it's not good. So, but I do think they get it right when it comes to like the awards and everything. It just comes down to the execution of what's consistency, how is it going to sound, and how is it going to look. And then once we get the sound down, then we can start talking about, getting higher quality. Because some people are going to say, well, the developers that are accepting these awards, they need to have better equipment. Newsflash, it ain't got nothing to do with that because these developers that don't accept these awards, even at the Game Awards, have really good mics that they get on. So that when they're accepting their awards, and all of a sudden they got 1080p and 1440p and 4K cameras, their videos don't look grainy. So, I also think it's on the developers to an extent that are accepting these awards to actually, put themselves in the best of lights. So I think it's like more this all around thing where people say, if you're not on the Game Awards with Jeff Keighley, it's a lesser than event. And I kind of think that people need to stop looking at it that way.
Yeah, and it'll take time, but I think I also kind of feel like, and welcome gaming addicts in the house. I do think I do think it takes time, and with enough people being somewhat dissatisfied with what the popular gaming award show choices, there's enough people that will start to gravitate towards other avenues and other award shows.
Yes.
Yeah, you sound good. What's up, man?
What's going on? What you guys talking about? I hear something.
We're talking about.
You're talking about the golden joysticks.
You're talking about the golden joystick, not my joystick or yours. So we're just talking about that.
Wait, what?
We're also talking about,
we're just gonna ignore you just said that.
Yeah, we are.
What are you doing?
We are gonna ignore that I said
this
that.
This man addict joins and you immediately go left. What is happening?
Because every time as soon as addict came in here, I started thinking about, shout out to
his joystick.
Let me know.
God.
I started thinking about let me play with your joystick. The dude that's always super chatting on IOP.
Oh, you was thinking about play with your joystick when I joined?
Listen, I like to play with joysticks. Joysticks are awesome.
Hey, the thoughts and opinions of one Gaming Forte did not represent DPS gaming as a whole.
If you feel like everything has something to do with a different connotation, then there's something wrong with you. Joystick is a universal word that was used in the controller.
That's not how you used it, and you know it. Let's move on.
I just said I like playing with joysticks when I play games.
So, addict. Did you hear about the golden joy? We're just gonna move on. Did you hear about the golden joysticks at all? Did you hear about
I heard
Expedition 33
and Expedition won 7 awards or something?
Yeah, and Ultimate Game of the Year as well. So yeah, any thoughts on that?
Ultimate
makes sense.
Yeah, it does. I mean, look, we were really at the end of this topic, about to get into the Xbox preview program. So we could just move on into that now if you guys are ready.
Moving on.
So yeah, the Xbox preview program was today. I did watch it. And just a quick recap of some things. So the live stream went live today. As I said, this is essentially all third-party developers whose games are coming to Xbox PC and the Xbox console. All games that were shown are a part of the Xbox Play Anywhere program, where if you buy it on Xbox PC app or the Xbox console, it will be available to you on, the other platform, as well as supporting Xbox handheld devices or Windows devices. And I thought it was an okay show. Like, I didn't really see too much that really interested me. There were just two games that kind of caught my eye. I saw so Coco Cucumber is a developer, like a little smaller indie developer that I really enjoy. I liked Echo Generation. I liked Ravenlock. And they showed Echo Generation 2.
Yeah, I wasn't
good.
feeling the change in combat.
The card system. Right. So I was going to say that. I didn't like the card system, but I'm going to give it a shot, though.
Because I trust the developer to a degree, because, I didn't really mess with Ravenlock too much. Clearly not many people did, because they went back to the good old Generations. I just I don't understand how you go from making Generations and people love it, because Echo Generation was amazing. I beat it. It's phenomenal turn-based game. Hard turn-based game too. It's not an easy turn-based game. And I'm just like, how do you go from that to let's turn it to card-based? This is the shit I be talking about with these people, man. Like who asked for that? I could go in the forums. I could go anywhere I could go. And I guarantee you I won't find one comment in any of these damn places that said, you know what would be cool? Let's turn that bitch into a card-like system game. Ran over.
Yeah, it ran over. Okay, yeah, agreed. I don't think anyone ever asked for a card system in a game. Like, remember, and I heard it was a pretty good game. I barely played it, so I can't really speak on it for myself. But what's the name of the Marvel game?
Marvel
that was made. Midnight Suns, right?
Yeah.
Was that?
Was that a huge fan of that game?
Everyone that has played it extensively says it's a good game, but it's just like a lot of people who probably would have played the game if it didn't have a card system involved with it just didn't even try it. So it's like, was it worth it to do that? Even if you may have executed well, it's not. A lot of people don't really want to deal with that when they have the combat system of a game. I don't understand why they didn't just basically just take what they had with Echo Generation, which I agree, it was a difficult turn-based combat system. Most difficult because you didn't really get a lot of healing.
That was really loved.
You had great feedback on that. Just expand upon that. Just evolve off of that. Why did you need to go do this thing? I'm still going to play it because I like Coco Cucumber.
Yeah, I'm willing to give it a chance, because I do feel that regardless, if I wasn't really feeling the second game they made too much, and I didn't even play, it's just I was such a fan of the turn-based Echo Generations that anything that wasn't turn-based by them, I was just like, dude, I don't even want to rock with that. But Echo Generations is a great game. Right now it's on sale. Guys, go pick it up. It is on sale right now for $8. The Midnight Edition.
The Taz in the chat says, "Where's the "oh really" soundbite from?" So from back in the day, Eddie Murphy and rest in peace, Richard Pryor did a movie called Harlem Nights. The "oh really" soundbite is from a hilarious part in the movie where Arsenio Hall, who's in the movie, is trying to kill Eddie Murphy, and they chase him into a convenience store or something. They're shooting at him and everything, and it's just hilarious. You have to see it's hilarious. It's the way they're shooting at him and yelling at him cussing him out at the same time. And this other guy who's just shooting one gun. He's just shooting one bullet after they unload an entire magazine into the store. And it is great. It is absolutely just watch the movie. Watch Harlem Nights. It's a great movie.
Yeah.
Man. Anyway. Another move, the other game from the Xbox Partner Program that I like. I did like what I saw from Tides of Annihilation.
That's the only game.
I forgot that was coming. But
that was some of the most unique gameplay I think I've seen in a long time. Like, man, they were fighting in like different realms at the same time.
Yeah. And I remember a lot of people when they first showed the game saying, "Oh, this is cap. It ain't gonna really play like this." You know how like sometimes you see something that looks really dope, but a lot of people, when it's a realistic, it's an understandable feeling. Because we get kind of bait and switch the way too much, where you see something that looks dope, and then the actual execution of it is like, man, that ain't really work out the way the way they had said it would. But like, this is kind of really looking good. I was hyped for it when I first saw it, but I'm super hyped for it now. So, was there anything that Forte that at the Xbox Partner Program you saw that you
think you should be looking at is let's go on this anno that we're supposed to be playing for 3 damn days.
What did I say earlier, SloMo? What did I say earlier?
He did say earlier he's trying to co-op with you in that game.
Yeah, I did. I told him we just
talking about playing joysticks, but won't play anno. What's up with that? Like,
hey, leave my joystick references alone. They are my joysticks and my joysticks only. Nothing.
Okay, look, we back to these joysticks. Okay, y'all go play Anno. That's great.
You said let me get back. Did you say let me get back on this joystick? Is that what you said?
No, I said y'all are back on this joystick stuff. Addict, outside of Echo Generation 2 and Tides, was there anything else that you saw from the partner program, the partner preview that you thought was interesting?
Xbox partner preview.
I just want to know how long did it take you for King to get on your nerves saying all the stuff he kept saying about it's in Game Pass. It's not in Game Pass.
I didn't care at this point.
I was watching y'all stream.
I do think it being in Game Pass, is a really good plus. But
it is.
I would never be like in a situation where like that's what I'm looking for. Like, and that's just because I do have a lot of access in the industry, so like being in Game Pass isn't necessarily a good thing for me because I could literally just most of the time just reach out to someone and get it. But I know a lot of people like they see that Game Pass, like that means a lot to them because they don't have to invest into it. Reanimals is a good game. I think that there's a demo that's going to be out soon or already out. You guys need to try that. I played that in Tokyo. Great game. Total Chaos looked crazy. I don't know if I would ever play that, but
that Crow Sworn, I'm not much of a side scroller dude, but that one looked dope. That Crow, like I was like, man, if I was at the side scrollers, I'd be all over that. Like, I thought about like shout out to Everborn Saga. Everborn loves those games. I know he's probably going to definitely play that. You said Zoopunk?
Yeah, with the rabbit.
Oh yeah. Isn't that like a prequel to that Fist game?
Yeah,
there was like a Fist game with a rabbit with like a huge arm, mechanical arm.
I ain't gonna lie, I kind of want to try this Eminem versus Slim Shady DLC.
I'm not playing that.
I don't want to try that. That looks funny.
I was just like the whole time, like my face was just confusion of like, what? Why is Eminem here? How is this tying into to Hitman? Like I was just like, okay, I am somewhat like, I guess just interested in how that is going to work in the game, but like ain't no way in the world I'm playing that. But
right,
if you stream it at it, I'll watch.
Yeah, I'll try.
I'll watch. If you stream it,
I'll take one for the team.
Appreciate you.
Tides of Annihilation. Damn it. Annihilation. That looked good. Total Chaos looked creepy. I don't know about that, but that's pretty much it because I'm looking at all the games that came out. The Crows game looked okay. I'm kind of like tired of like people say, oh that's Hollow Knight. There was games that looked like Hollow Knight before Hollow Knight. Let's be honest here. Like Hollow Knight probably made it more mainstream, but let's stop saying everything's Hollow Knight.
Hey. We don't speak illy of Hollow Knight on this podcast.
No one is speaking ill of Hollow Knight. People are doing the usual thing where they act like something didn't exist before. something popularized it. That's all.
No, you're right.
Hollow Knight is a phenomenal game, but let's not call everything Hollow Knight. There's some things that's just that game. Like because you want to get technical, like I played a bunch of games before Hollow Knight even came on up, and it looked exactly like Hollow Knight. So I'm gonna say that Hollow Knight Hollow Knight copied that. No, it definitely made everything more mainstream in that type of style. Like kind of like Hades blew up roguelike games.
True. Yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah, but the thing is that, and I'm glad that people don't go too far with Hades. Hades may have blew up roguelike games, but when you see another roguelike, I don't hear people saying there's a Hades clone here, or it's a, because like, I don't know if you played this game. It's called Absalom. It is fantastic, but it definitely takes a lot of inspiration directly from how I forgot the name of the dev's name, but how that developer made Hades, which is fine. Because it's like you're taking inspiration from a very, very good game design, and it works in your game. So why the heck not? But like, no one was like, man, this game Absalom is dope, but it's a Hades clone. It's like no one's doing that. And I'm glad that's the case, because so many people always look at different games that they just, if it's a popular game in a genre, they immediately go to, oh, it's copying this or it's copying that. And people love Dispatch, and it's like an evolution of like what Telltale used to do. But why do we even call those kind of games Telltale games? Because Telltale popularized it. So it's just, I guess it's just the way things are. Unfortunately, we describe things like that.
It's actually good, but the thing is, like, it's okay to say, yo, without Hades, without Hollow Knight, these genres would have probably been stuck in that status quo a little longer. It is a different thing to say everything copied Hollow Knight, because that's literally what people are doing now. Like, it's like, no, people are making a game that resembles Hollow Knight. Now, obviously, they're probably going to copy a lot of shit from Hollow Knight, because Moonlighters. I just played like 35 hours of Moonlighters. Moonlighters 1 did not feel like Hades very much at all. Moonlighters 2 might as well be a Moonlighters version of Hades. It's a great game, and I'm willing to admit that, but I'm not going to sit there and say that that they didn't heavily inspire off of Moonlighters, off of Hades, but it definitely is its own thing too. It's doing stuff that Hades isn't doing.
Yeah. All right, well, we can move on to this final topic about the Video Game Awards. We had the nominations that came out on Monday. I live streamed the live stream, my reaction of the live stream to that, the reveal of the nominations, and Forte joined. We had a nice little discussion about some of the snubs, some of the
captain that was going on in there.
Yeah. So look, let's have a discussion on this. And the Video Game Awards show is going to be in December. I literally forgot the date. I thought I had this written down, but I don't. But it's sometime in December. From what people who are voters have said, that the cutoff for voting was November 4th, which is even though the cutoff is November 4th, there are some games that, like Dispatch, for example, all the episodes of it weren't out. And so Dispatch, a lot of voters apparently did not feel comfortable voting for Dispatch for something like Narrative of the Year, Best Narrative of the Year, even though it's deserving of it. All the episodes weren't out, so they didn't vote for it, which is understandable. Yet at the same time, a lot of people don't care. They feel like it should be in there. And so with that said, there are snubs. There are games that some people feel like shouldn't be nominated for certain categories and whatnot. So
I think there was a company, a developed company, that said, not only do we not think we should be in this, we're withdrawing our game from the spot.
Yeah, there was it's someone in the best or the debut indie. I think it was someone in the debut indie category,
and they said it was unfair for them to be there.
Right, because he said he was a veteran developer who had made games for a long time, and he may be just doing this project on his own, but it wasn't fair for him to be in that category, so he withdrew himself. I thought that was pretty nice of him. I'll speak on a snub that I felt. I felt like in the best sound and music category, I feel like South of Midnight was snubbed for not being in there. When you look at the documentary that they put out on how they did the music, like, if not for best sound and music, best sound design, I mean, the fact that they created songs with actual folk artists, real artists who do that kind of music from that region, from that culture, and the music actually fits the story of what's happening in the chapters that you're playing in. No one else is really doing that. And it was good. It was well done. It really accentuated and improved upon what was happening in the story. Like, you can say whatever you want about South of Midnight as a game. You may have felt it didn't have enough fighting in it, or it was too short, or you felt like it didn't have a big enough budget. You didn't like the art direction, whatever. But you can't say that it wasn't deserving for the music. Like, I spoke on this on Twitter, and then I got morons coming at me with like, it's just a mediocre game, bro. And it's just like, reading comprehension is at an all-time low. I didn't say anything about the quality of the game, even though I thought it was a good game. I'm speaking specifically about the sound and music. And not a single person came to me and was like, no, SloMo, I didn't think it was that good. Because they all knew it was good. It's just that, it's just to see some of the games in that category that I feel like it was better. I think the only game to come out this year that had better music than South of Midnight, is more deserving than South of Midnight, is Expedition 33. But
here's how I feel. At the end of the day, the people that do these, they're human. It's not like it's done by like, robots or machines. And
it's not AI?
Yeah, not yet.
Not yet.
But I just think you have a simple. People just enjoyed other games more than South of Midnight, because and a lot of people didn't even get through South of Midnight. I'm willing to bet you they played 30-40 minutes of that, realized nothing evolved with the combat, and unfortunately, you can have the best, the best outside of a house in the world, but the foundation falling apart, most people probably ain't gonna walk in the house. And when you got people that's voting for these and they don't even really remember anything because they either A, dropped it because they wasn't enjoying themselves, or B, it's just the other games they just enjoyed more. Do I think that's how it should be? No, but it's just that's how most people would do something like that. When you're like, yo, I'm looking at all these games that people's nominated. It's like, I could totally see this game. And not to mention, it's like, how many people actually enjoyed South of Midnight? Because even though if I enjoyed something more, I can understand from being in a voting position where it's like, how can I realistically vote something to be anything if I didn't even like the game?
Yeah, but you're voting on different categories. Like, I could say I didn't like a game, but it had an amazing voice actor in it. Okay, all right. Well, like, just because I dislike the game doesn't mean I can't give that voice actor their due.
Once again, you are going to the assumption that they finished the game. If a lot of them dropped it because they didn't like the game, then that's irrelevant.
Then why are you a voter then? Like, I don't understand why are these people? Why are you voting on video games if you don't play nothing?
Are you saying that they have to beat every game that's on the list?
Not every game that's on the list, but you should play the majority.
You can't say one and not the other. But what if they didn't just play South of Midnight? That's the majority.
If they just didn't play South of Midnight, fine. But I knowing some of these people, I'm not saying no names. Some of these people on this list don't play games, bro. Some of these people who have voting rights don't play enough games.
Well, and I agree with you.
Definitely don't play enough to be voting on best indie. They don't play multiplayer games, period. I'm not going to go to the level of Shroud where it's like, oh, multiplayer games are being,
actually, I agree with Shroud on that. I agree with Shroud on that. And all the games years, when do you see multiplayer games even really get on there?
I mean, they don't really, but they also don't really do a lot. that's innovative or of a level of high quality
There
to
has
get
been
there
dry
either.
ass years, SloMo, where you know for a fact that one of them bitches could have went up on there.
What year did Titanfall 2 come out?
That was like
Or
2015.
Titanfall, the original one. Like I do agree. It's like, look, do I think that every year that do I think that game of the year should be a multiplayer game? No, but I do think that there are a huge amount of these voters that don't fuck with games like that, like at all. So it's just like it would make sense that these games don't show up in these playlists.
And that's why they shouldn't be. Look, if you're not going to vote for everything, if you're not going to give everything a fair shake, I don't want you as a voter. And even though it doesn't matter because it's not my award show and they're going to be voters regardless. I just like, I think what I really mean is that this is why that award show isn't like, no one really takes it seriously, because it's just like, it's a popularity contest. People only really watch it. You get like 100 million people watching it every single year. And people are watching it because it's going to have like, if not some of the best, but the best reveals of the year.
Well, see,
it's going to have all kinds of stuff. That's what people are there for.
Back to the original one. So I'm looking at the sound and this best score in music. So I didn't play Death Stranding 2 or Ghost of Yotai really. I played like the opening of Ghost of Yotai, so I can't really speak on those. I played a good amount of Hades, and I streamed Silksong. Like
Hades has fantastic music.
I streamed Silksong like 5, 6. I'm gonna be real with you. I played South of Midnight and Silksong, and I like Silksong's score and music way better than South of Midnight. But once again, I had just a more enjoyable time on South of Midnight. It's hard to separate that because even though, and let's be real, I don't really fuck with jazz either, so that's probably another huge thing. But it's just like when you're going into and you're playing these games and you're remembering it, it's hard to separate the bad with the good, especially when the bad is the majority of the game. It's like,
I don't think the game is that bad. I mean, that's subjective, but
6 out of 10. Like,
no, I'm not gonna go that far. I enjoyed South of Midnight. It wasn't the best game though, but I mean, the thing is that
it's the worst game.
When you
besides Keepers, it's the worst game Xbox published this year.
What else did they publish this year outside of the Obsidian games?
Because I haven't played Keepers, so I can't speak on that. But it's definitely not better than the Outer Worlds. It's definitely not better than Avowed.
I think it's better than Avowed.
It's not better than Doom.
I haven't played Doom, so I can't speak on that.
Doom's fun, man. Doom's fun.
They published a lot of games this year. Now that
Publisher of the year.
Really think about it. I'm just saying that if we're doing categories, the idea of, well, I think this game is trash, so I'm not going to really give the music a fair shake or the art direction a fair shake because a lot of people probably didn't even
get a chance to even hear the music.
See, yeah, and there's that too, but it's just like
when you're looking at
it's like it's kind of not relevant to what the music is.
Do you think just because like someone I'm willing to bet you the majority of these games have original stuff that it's not like they all like did AI or something. All these games created sound and
oh yeah. They all put in hard work on their sound and whatnot. I just think that South of Midnight, outside of just Expedition, they did it better than the majority of people.
They went a little further by going to the source material and enhancing it with the game they were making.
Yes, absolutely.
So
I feel like they went above and beyond.
I'm curious on what game would you switch? If you were to give South of Midnight one of these positions, I can't speak the last two because I didn't play them. But as far as like Silksong, Hades 2, and Claire, like I don't think it deserves any of those spots. So if it were to get a spot for me, it would either be Ghost of Yotai or Death Stranding. I didn't play them, so I can't speak on it.
Let me take a look at the nominees one more time before I answer that.
Hollow Knight, Silksong, Hades 2, Expedition, Ghost of Yotai, and Death Stranding 2. Stop it with that.
Why do you keep?
It's one of the people. It's one of the people in the game. It's to do with the little.
I love that, dude. Every time I play Silk Song, I go see him, and he just starts singing. Ooh, shala.
People making whole videos on that person.
Ay. It's so good. That's
You know
why.
what?
That's why
You know
Silk
what?
Song can't come off the list.
Because of I.
No,
See, this is
more
what
than
I'm
that.
talking about.
It's more
This is
than
what I'm
that.
talking.
It's more than
you
that.
like the game, and there's and someone does something. You know what? Nominated best music and sound. This take
It's not
this
just
song
that,
up
though.
out of here.
But no, here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. He's speaking on that because that was so captivating to him when he was playing the game.
When I was playing the game,
And that's not the highlight of Hollow Knight. Hollow Knight, in my opinion, is the only other game that's nominated for Game of the Year that, in my opinion, would get it over Claire Obscure. I don't even want Claire Obscure is my Game of the Year, and the only if Hollow Knight won, I wouldn't say anything because I do think they both deserve Game of the Year.
I think out of what's nominated for Game of the Year, I would say they're all deserving. Have I played? I haven't. There's something I haven't played in that. We try. I haven't played. I haven't played Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, so I can't speak on that.
Kingdom Come Deliverance is definitely worth it too, but in my opinion, Expedition and Hollow Knight are just built different. Like they're a tad above the other ones.
Yeah,
except like I think Claire is different. Claire is on a different level.
It's a generation defining game. You know, like when this generation's over and people look back on this generation, they talk about the great games of this generation.
I have a feeling Claire Obscure Expedition 33 is about to take almost every award it's been awarded. It's been nominated.
I would hope so, but with this award show, have you noticed this? And I mentioned this to Forte on Monday. The times when a game wins a bunch of awards, they sometimes don't win Game of the Year. It'll be like they're sweeping everything, and then they don't get Game of the Year.
That makes zero sense in the logistics of it, because how is a Game of the Year if it doesn't win the other awards?
Right, like take Red Dead 2, for example. Red Dead 2 was winning everything. All the awards. It was the Red Dead 2 show. Get to Game of the Year, gave it to God of War. And so I just kind of feel like sometimes they try to like balance it out. And I know this is conspiracy theory, tinfoil hat on my head kind of talk, and I get it, right? They claim they don't do this stuff. I'm sure. Okay. But it just seems to always kind of play out these ways. So it wouldn't surprise me if Claire Obscure, which is my Game of the Year, I think one of the best RPGs I've played ever, wins all these awards and then loses to like freaking Death Stranding 2.
I would be a little upset with that too, because I do think it deserves Game of the Year. Like there's a couple things that you can make the argument. Maybe even I think it deserves sound, like hands down deserves sound. But there's a couple that I can understand where it's like, okay, even though it was terrific, maybe it wasn't the best one there. You know what I'm saying? Like, like best game direction. Even though I felt like
it doesn't need to win that.
That is a great one. Yeah. To me, Split Fiction deserves that. I think
Split Fiction. There we go. Split Fiction. Split Fiction has some levels in it that I genuinely said, I have never played anything like this before, and this is fantastic.
Rotating down and shit.
Yo, I was playing it with Luca, and me and that one level where you're on the bike. Yeah. Luca's doing awesome. I talked to her today too. Me, we were talking some work stuff, some IT stuff, but I played it with Luca, and the level where you're on the bike and one of you has to like drive while the other one is shooting
the verification.
Oh man, yo, and then then like you have to pull out the cell phone and stuff. Yo, I was like, this is so. It's like peak Haze-like Studios. It's like take all their games and all their games. They don't make bad games. They haven't missed yet. Split Fiction was peak, which is why I think the actual biggest snub is that Split Fiction isn't nominated for Game of the Year. It's not going to win, but I think it deserves to be nominated. I'm sick and tired of Nintendo getting a pass every single year.
I don't think Banjo
Nintendo,
yeah, I'm gonna be
Banjo
real.
does not deserve to be here. They every single year they do this. They just take the most popular or the highest rated Nintendo game of the year and they put it in the game of the year conversation like it really deserves to be there. Donkey Kong Bonanza does not deserve to be anywhere near this conversation, period. They took Split Fiction's spot, in my opinion. Not that it was going to win, but we know how this game works. If you're just nominated, people who didn't even hear about your game or see your game, or maybe they were thinking about buying your game, but they got busy and it just got out of their mindset and now comes back into their mindset. It makes a sales bump. It's just good to be there, and it's just not going to be there. I think it's unfortunate.
It's like, look, but Donkey Kong Bonanza is a fun game. I played it, but as far as like being up there on that like game of the year thing, I don't agree with that at all. Like,
yeah, Forte, what are your thoughts about that? Do you think if you play Split Fiction with your daughter, right? I don't remember. I thought you said okay. So you played it. Do you think it deserves to be there? And if you do think it deserves to be there, what should be removed?
In which category? In
game
music?
Of the year.
Oh, game of the year. Ooh, if you take Split Fiction out, what should be there?
Split Fiction isn't in there.
No, you saying if it was in there, what would I remove? I'm trying. I was saying two things at the same time. I was trying to think what was in there.
Yeah. Okay. So what's in there is Clay Obscure, of course.
Yeah.
Hades 2.
Yeah.
Donkey Kong Bonanza, Silk Song, Death Stranding 2, and Kingdom Come Deliverance 2.
Ooh. Man, Silk Song definitely needs to be there. Kingdom Come needs to be there. Claire needs to be there. What was the other one?
Death Stranding 2 and Hades 2.
Hades 2. That's the one I was thinking.
You would take Hades 2 out?
I would because at a certain point, I feel.
You feel like they didn't expand on like the formula or anything enough, to be on there.
It's like I feel like
I haven't played
Hades 2 is just an.
It's an improvement. I think Hades 2 is an improvement of what the original Hades was
to a degree.
But I think it's better.
That's it. The original one was also a Game of the Year nominee, right?
Yes,
so the original one is excellent.
Yes,
this
but
one is better than the original. So there will be some people that just like
but that doesn't mean it's a better game than games that came out that year. I mean, that's the only thing that. Because it might be a better game, but it just isn't better than what came out.
Not to mention, maybe the year that it got. What year was that? Like, was it like actual?
That
like
was 2019 or 2020. It was 2019 or 2020. It was one of those.
Yeah.
How stacked was the year?
Let me take a look.
Why he's looking at that? Because the only reason that's why, and I'm not just picking Hades just because it's the smallest game.
Came out in 2020. Okay, go ahead.
No, I'm not picking that because it's the small. I'm just picking that because I'm just thinking like if you compare, you kind of got to compare that game versus Split Fiction. Like when I comparing Claire and Split, I'm like they both do things that are incredible in gaming and things that haven't been done before in different ways of playing games. Silk Song is by far probably one of the best rogues that you will ever play.
I'm gonna be real with you. I think we've seen Hades do this. We've seen Baldur's Gate do this. Why ain't more developers taking advantage of early access and actually building their game with people?
100%, bro.
Absolutely.
I agree. But I just think going to that, I just think if you take those two games, Split Song and Hades, and put them next to each other and tell them to like just go down the list of merit.
You just combined two games.
Yeah, I did. Split Song. If you want to.
Which one were you thinking about? Split Fiction or Silk Song? Which one were you thinking about?
Listen. Why are you saying that? I will allow you. I will allow you to bask in the glory of the greatness of Hollow Knight, as there you go. But it's so good. But
I don't hear anything. I figured you were trying to pull something up. I don't hear anything.
Oh, you couldn't hear it? Dang it. Oh no. Well, not sure. It's
anyway,
okay.
You asked what was nominated in 2020 when Hades was nominated. Ghost of Tsushima was nominated that year. Final Fantasy VII Remake, Doom Eternal, Animal Crossing, and The Last of Us Part 2 won. So I would say this year is more competitive.
Yeah, way more
than that year was.
Way more
like some of those games wouldn't have got in there if like some of these games came out that year.
Right.
I agree.
Yeah, but I'm still going to say Donkey Kong.
I'm not even saying it doesn't deserve it. It didn't deserve to be there. Hades is a phenomenal game.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
I'm playing it right
awesome
now.
Game.
Hades 2.
You should.
Yeah. I just think Donkey Kong Bonanza isn't in the level of quality. Donkey Kong Bonanza is not in the level of quality of these other games and Split Fiction. Therefore, I feel like it shouldn't be there. Like, it's not the same level of quality of a game. So, yeah. But,
oh my god.
Oh my god. See, this is what you want for best sound. You are not helping this game. In my opinion, this is not better than anything that I heard from South of Midnight. I don't know what I'm listening to right now. This sounds like a baby babbling in the bathtub is what it sounds. It sounds like my son, when my son was singing in the bathtub, we gave him a bath. That's what it sounds like. This is what y'all said best sounding music. Yeah, I'm getting about it. I'm about to get angry.
I will say I understand, but that little guy has a lot of fans now. Like
a lot of fans, bro.
I'm not surprised.
Whole videos dedicated to that little guy.
SloMo, no lie. The first time I played that game and I came across that vendor, I started dying, bro. It did all of a sudden. Like, let me tell you, no lie, bro. I have I'm gonna post it on X one day. My daughter, during her homecoming marching band, they were at homecoming on the field. She has a GoPro. I let her put the GoPro on so she could record her on field. While she's standing at attention waiting for the football team to come out on the field, she looks over to her best friend and says, "Yo, Austin," and she goes, "Ooh, shala."
Oh my god!
And I was like, "What are we doing? Let's go, dog!" It is iconic, bro. Ever since I ran across that vendor, every time I play the game, that pops in my head, bro. And no, is it like the reason that Silk Song is in there for music? Absolutely not. But it doesn't hurt. Because there is like shorts out there. Dude, they got videos of 24 hours of Usha. It's just crazy.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, at the end of the day, it's people voting on these things. And they just simply enjoy the other things more. Like, if you go strictly off of sound and score track, like, and it's still a debate if it should win off of that. Because I'm sure if you go look at the other shit they made, like, and we got to keep in mind too that South of Midnight's a short game. I'm sure some of the amount of work that the other teams put in are a lot more than what was put into South of Midnight. But South of Midnight, went above and beyond with some of the things it did.
Yeah. It's just like when we talk about how Ninja Theory, or just like this. It's just like when we talk about like how Forza, like Playground with Horizon went out and photographed rocks and environments and made environments look so good. But what does it really get them in the racing category when it's like,
that's actually pretty standard.
But no,
nowadays when it comes to AAA games, it's just like photograph things
when
like
they
that.
did that the first time, dog, when we saw Horizon 5 for the first time and people just saw this, they were talking about this picture with all the rocks and stuff that they went out and photographed and the geometry and the area and got the wind and all that stuff that they did. And then when they said, we want to introduce you to Forza Horizon 5, and those cars went shooting through the screen, everybody lost their mind, bro, because everybody thought that was just a picture. That was the actual game right there in front of you the whole time. You didn't even know it. But now, like you said, that's more standardized because people expect that now. But that was them going above and beyond that any other car game ever did before. And what did it get them in the game of the year? Not game of the year, but what did it get them for Racer of the Year? I believe it didn't even win Racer of the Year that year.
No, it's never been nominated for Game of the Year, no matter how much effort they put in.
Guess what?
Yeah, and that's another thing. They're never going to nominate a racer for Game of the Year. It's never going to happen.
Why not?
Because it's a racer.
Exactly. Okay, I want you to remember that every other genre.
I've always said that. Look, like back when Forza Horizon 5 came out, and people was like, "Why is it not nominated?" I said it then because it's a racer. Do I agree with it? No, I'm not defending it. I think every game should have the opportunity to be there. But in this award show, this is why I said no one should take this award show seriously, because the people who are voting don't take their voting seriously. So I don't take you seriously. So when they do their vote, they are wholesale excluding certain genres and games simply because of what they are. And I'm like, that's not like, if I'm going to really want to know what is worthy and what the industry feels is worthy, I'm going to go to a different award show for that. This is more of, hey, look, man, I wonder if Xbox is going to show some hardware this year. I wonder what PlayStation is going to show. I wonder what big reveal is going to happen at this award show, because that's the big draw. It's not, people are going to care about what happens, who wins Game of the Year at the end of it, but like the rest of it, I mean, when you give the developers 30 seconds to accept their award and you're already ushering them off, but your homeboy Kojima can stand up on stage for 5 minutes speaking in Japanese with a translator to translate it into English, and everything he's saying about his game is nonsense, like he's talking on acid. You allow that to happen? But other devs can't think like 5 people before you turn on the music. Nah.
Well, this is also that's what I'm saying. This is also the game show that the award show that literally will have a commercial break, and during their commercial break, when they're talking, will flash awards at the bottom of the screen that no one will get a chance to congratulate them with live.
Exactly. And meanwhile, for best RPG is this, and then it's like they just speed run through it. They don't even say the whole name. They just say acronym, like best RPG, ME2. Anyway, move on. I'm just like, what?
Moving on. We gotta make sure this show ain't 6 hours long.
Right. And we got roll these commercials, the same commercials over and over again. You're gonna see 3 or 4 times. Anyway, let's get up out of here. Appreciate you coming through, Gaming Addict. Let everyone that they don't know where to find you, let them know where to find you, sir.
Follow me on Twitter at Lord Addict IOP. You can find me on YouTube at Gaming Addict. I'm gonna be posting probably more like games you should be looking out for this year. Also been streaming Final Fantasy Tactics on Tactician mode on Addict Arena, and that's been a trip. Definitely, can imagine. I was, some dude was giving me like a huge issue on this level, and I finally, because like on Tactics there's physics, so if like I get 2 people beside, like if they're against the wall and I get 2 people right beside on each side, and there's nowhere to go on the other side because there's a wall, they're stuck there. And I got the person that I was supposed to defeat there. I was like, nah, bitch, you stuck. It's over for you now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so definitely check that out.
All right, we'll do. I'll add your links in the description on post show so that anyone listening after the fact can find them if they don't need to search it up through YouTube. But appreciate you coming.
Yeah, I think I'm
bro.
actually going to stream Hades because playing Moonlighters kind of get me into because I never beat the original Hades.
Oh, really? Yeah. Original one. You got to really get rogue credits. You got to beat it 10 times. But it's well, you have to clear it 10 times, and you get to the end. It advances the story further. But to really end the story, you have to clear it 10 times. That sounds
like a nightmare to me. Like you have to beat something 10
the thing
times.
is that with Hades had a great balance of giving you progression for as long as you were smart in how you did your run. So even though like you do a run and you lose all the bones,
try Moonlighters.
You still, I think I have that on my wish list. So yeah, I'll try Moonlighters. But like Hades has good Hades has good progression, so that like it gets easier as you get further. So that like I think it took me maybe like 15 runs before I got my first clear, but once I got my first clear, I started clearing it like very regularly. So it's not for everyone, because I know like I know some people that been like, yo, they can't get past the second boss in the second biome. But like
I understand having like Dragon Quest 11, you had to like there's a boss, and then there was like it would make it seem like it's over, and then there's a true ending. I understand that, but asking me to beat something 10 times just sounds crazy to me.
Well, those gameplay, those attempts aren't that long though. Once you get the game down,
yeah, they're like 30-minute runs.
10 times, though, my dude. Like
you have to. I'm telling you, once you get through it, you'll understand. It's like it's really not that difficult. You get a really good run.
Does
like
it involve
15 minutes, 20 minutes?
Is it like one of those things where you have to beat it 10 times before they tell you? Or is it one of those things why every time you beat it, they advance the story a little bit more and explain to you why you keep beating it 10 times? Yeah.
Every time you beat it, they advance the story a little bit further. There's more revealed. There's more understanding of what's really going on.
That's a better thing than... You may seem like Hades times. Like,
oh no! I even said it before. It was like it advances the story each time, and the characters are dope.
The story once you beat it 10 times.
No. Like each time you beat it, it's like things change within the underworld, and even when you beat certain bosses and you get past them, the next time you see them, they'll be like, yeah, hey, like what happened last time, that ain't happening again. Or like there's certain bosses who are real arrogant, and then you start beating them regularly as you're going through, and you're advancing the story,
like
and now they can't deal with it. They can't do it. They just like, no, this ain't happening again. Why are you here again? Are you torturing me? Is this what you're doing? Like it's literally like it really kind of evolves like that. Yes, it's good, man. You have to like Hades is well worth it. But my bad, Forte. Let everyone know where they can find you. What you're doing over the next week.
Oh, okay. Well, guess what? Today is Thursday. Tomorrow is Friday.
That's how the days of the week normally work.
In one more week, we will be at Thanksgiving, and then we will be at Black Friday, where I will be disappearing.
Oh yeah,
for an entire weekend. You won't even see me.
Let me also say that we will not have DPS next week.
Oh, so, definitely no, Thanksgiving Day, we definitely no DPS next week. But
eat your turkey, eat your ham. We'll see you in 2 weeks. Go ahead, man.
Yep. Unfortunately, IOP doesn't take breaks.
Well, IOP is actually on a Sunday, so you could talk about. We are
taking 2 weeks off next month.
Oh, nice, cool vacation. But no, with that being said, Game Forte, YouTube, Xbox Live, PlayStation, same place everywhere. DPS in 2 weeks, not next week, in 2 weeks. IOP this Sunday, because I'm definitely going to have to show my face, because King was talking a lot of stuff on that stream today, and I was biting my tongue the whole time I was listening to y'all talk. I was like, good God, King.
You got the permanent leak now.
Right, exactly. So no, with that being said, I really appreciate everybody. Addict, appreciate you coming through and hanging out with us as always, bro. Definitely got to jump into this anno because I've been standing Addict up for like the last 4 days. He literally called me yesterday. He was like, "Are you okay?" I was like, man, I was dead.
He's like, I'll call you right back when I finish this. And I'm like, oh, I guess not.
And I was asleep. And I was like, bro, I've been going to sleep. It's been kind of crazy. But with that being said, guys, you guys enjoy your weekend. Enjoy the holidays next week. Enjoy the games that you're playing. Don't worry if Steam is Valve out here going to charge you $1,000 for a system. It's okay because PlayStation charges you $875. Which one would you rather have? Xbox ain't selling you a system at all. So guess what? I guess we're all winning in this part. But with that being said, appreciate you guys. SloMo, get us up out of here.
Great show as usual. Again, appreciate Addict for coming through. Y'all probably ain't gonna see me streaming anything over the next week. I may end up streaming something later next week after Thanksgiving. I'll have to see, but things are pretty busy on my side of things right now. Just life and family and all that good stuff. But nothing bad. But just wanted to let everyone know that I may not go live with anything. But we appreciate you guys for coming through. Again, no DPS next Thursday, but we will be back 2 Thursdays from now. So until then. Hope you guys enjoy your time with family, your holidays, and all that good stuff.
Yep. Before you shut it down, I have a question.
Yo,
Stranger Things, y'all watch, right?
Yeah,
I'm trying. I'm gonna watch the new season. I'm on the second season right now.
All right, let's give our not impressions or because it's not out yet. Because by the time we come back in 2 weeks, the first 4 episodes will be out because they come out on Thanksgiving day before Thanksgiving, Wednesday next week, 8:00.
Mm-hmm.
Who's gonna live? Who's gonna die? What do you think? Who's gonna make it out of this season?
I think
Harper dies. I think Harper dies.
I think Harper dies too. I've been telling my wife she was like, no. I said Hopper's gonna die.
But people been predicting Hopper dies since season 3.
Hopper did die once already, though. Hopper technically died once already.
Quote unquote died, yeah. But I'm gonna say permanently Hopper dies.
Permanently Hopper dies. I agree. 100%.
Yeah.
I think this is what I think. I think Hopper dies because Joyce. I think Will is definitely gonna die. Will and 11 are tied to this. Will is the source. 11 is the key. I think Hopper is going to die trying to stop Joyce from sacrificing herself with Will.
Why are you going to introduce this entire discussion about Stranger Things
because
when
I just
I'm
thought
literally
about
what?
Because we are not going to see our people, but we have just try to get it out there. What do you think gonna happen? All right, we ain't got to last that long. Okay, like I said, I think Will is going. Okay, this is what I think. I think Will is gonna die. I think 11's gonna die, and I think Hop's gonna die. Those are my 3 people.
I just think Hop dying. That's it.
You think just Hop? That's it. Everybody else lives.
I think
everyone else lives.
I think Will dies. I think 11's boyfriend dies, and that's it.
Okay.
Mike.
Yeah, I think.
You think Mike's gonna die? Whew.
They're gonna want that separating tough. Something's gonna have to push 11 to be emotionally strong enough to take out.
That's Hopper. That's her dad.
I think that's Hopper.
Yeah, that's her adoptive father dying. I think that'll do it. We'll see.
I feel you on that, but I think they've already did that once, and I think it would be whack if they did that again.
Yeah, sure. Kind of go into the well too many times. All right, look, we're out of here. You guys enjoy your holiday and play some games for once. It's like I'm kidding. You guys play games.
Play some games for once.
Maybe.
God damn, what kind of
all right, bye.
These are 10%ers here.